All right, guys. So, in typical Apocalypse World style, the beginning of the campaign is not going to open with a big action scene. We're just going to follow you around for your first day of classes. Now, I'm going to say all of you have one class together at least, but this class is a little different. It's set in the it's set at night. It's at sundown, whatever sundown happens to be. Uh,
This is bullshit.
but all right. Let's say
No.
um,
I'm just kidding. Sundown is perfect.
no. Right. Well, well, I'll explain what that class is once we get there. But
Astrology. Astronomy.
right. Okay. So Piotr, you wake up for the first morning of class to hear some kind of strange noises.
All right. Piotr sees if his roommate Billy, I think that's his name, is still
Gavin.
Gavin.
So
Sorry.
you wake up and you see Gavin has the radio turned on, and there's a strange like singing coming from the radio. It's like it's just kind of like a constant throat noise.
Can you do throat singing, Kevin?
I don't know. No, I can't.
Can you
All right. So Piotr
And he's
like
like sitting at his desk.
it's sitting on. Can I reach his desk from my bed?
So his well, let's. I mean, you tell me. Look at how the room is arranged. You can tell me where the desks are and stuff. There's
Sure.
there's a two beds. They can be a bunk, and
Okay,
two
sure.
desks.
Yeah. So it's actually like one desk. Like he gets one half, I get the other. It's like pretty long.
Okay.
And like from my bed, I could definitely reach his clock radio or whatever the hell it is, and I like reach over and just kind of like, just like smash it down with my hand because I don't exactly know what buttons to press, but I know that just hitting a whole bunch of them at the same time would be like good enough to stop whatever the hell that noise is, so I can go back to sleep.
Okay. So Gavin like throws back his chair. He's like, Piotr, what the hell, man? It was a gift from my grandma.
Piotr's like, it's still working, and just kind of like slides it over to his.
So you can see clearly in the ground that it's like it's very broken. He's like, I don't know, man. I might have to ask you to buy me a new one.
I'll fix it later. And he just kind of like turns away from Gavin and like goes out to the bathroom,
Okay.
which
Cool.
is right across the hall, right there.
Yeah. So as you're walking across to the hall, you notice that the both of the stalls are taken.
All right, so like Piotr comes up to the door, and like waits like, I don't know, 15 seconds, and then just like. Oh wait, sorry. The bathroom is locked, or the stalls are taken.
So I think they're both single bathrooms.
Okay, so they're like locked. The doors are
Yeah.
locked.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he like pounds on the door. He's like, "Hurry up!"
All right. Well, what do you say, Drake?
Um. Sorry, bro. Number 2.
Piotr like walks over to the other one and like just doesn't say anything, but just like bangs on the door.
All right. So the door sort of slides open, or doesn't slide open, but swings open to reveal, like as you bang it, it kind of opens, to reveal a guy. He's like greasing back his hair, like looking in the mirror, and he's like, "Hold on, bro, fixing my hair here."
All right, so Piotr just kind of like shoves past, like right past him, and like, like decides that without closing the door and just like leaving the dude standing there, he just like takes a piss.
All right. He's like, "Whoa, man! Like, what are you doing? That's totally bogus."
See, I said keep doing your hair if you want.
All right. He makes like a crazy face. He's like, "Oh, shit!" And he makes his way out of the bathroom quickly.
So through a vent in the wall, you can see it connects to the other bathroom. You hear a chuckling coming from the other bathroom.
Yeah. And you also hear a giggling coming from the other side too.
All right, Piotr secretly smiles to himself.
All right. All right. So Drake, you swing out of the bathroom, and you're what's your first class today?
Philosophy. I took a softball.
Okay.
So philosophy, but it doesn't start for a while. It doesn't start until 10. I didn't want to take anything too early. So I've got time to go eat breakfast. I got time to go take a walk, maybe play guitar for a little bit.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So what am I doing? Peter, when you walk out of the bathroom like 5 seconds after I do, what's in the hall?
So for whatever reason, you think it's a little weird that there's like two girls wandering around like this side. Not that it's like not allowed for them to be here, but it's whatever, like 9 in the morning or 8:30 in the morning, and there's only like 4 like guy rooms and 2 bathrooms. Like there's no reason for it to be on the side.
Well, I guess there are some perks to coming to college. Hey, Peter?
Piotr says something that he's just kind of like grumbles to himself, but you definitely see him take like a second look, like as he's like kind of walking away.
Okay. So these two girls, yeah, they're kind of like walking down the hallway. They're basically shoulder to shoulder, and as they walk, they're like whispering to each other. And they like sort of give both of you a long glance as they walk past you.
All right. Drake will call out and say, "Ladies, this is my room. Stop by any time." And I'll kind of like slap Peter on the back and in an effort to sort of prop him up. I don't know if there's like a move or something, but I'm gonna try and like and build Peter up to these girls. I want to butter him up.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So I think this could be turn somebody on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try and turn these girls on to me and Peter. You know, I got a big strong guy next to me, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. I'm gonna say, Peter bought the drinks.
Piotr, not sure what to say, kind of like leans. I guess he's like in a tank top, just got up. He like leans his hand like on the wall and like flexes his bicep a little bit.
Okay.
You lean and flex your bicep.
Yeah, you just lean on the wall, but at the same time, just
leans.
Yeah.
Just have the stretch.
Just a second later, the muscle flexes.
Which way to the girls' room?
Oh, mama.
Yeah, where are these girls going down this dead end men's boy?
That's what's strange.
I
Right?
think
Straight
the
out the window.
implication is that they were leaving someone's room.
Well, you guys are the end rooms.
No,
Yeah.
they're just looking around.
Oh, they're just looking
like,
around. Okay.
No, I just said because he said something strange, right? So
Well, it's the beginning of the new year, so they're probably lost. No one knows where anything is.
well, then now know where Drake's room is. So
Yeah, they
They
do.
wandered into the wolf's den.
That's
You know where to
the
go
right.
in the next case.
Right, Pete?
that's right.
All right. So what'd you roll there? So you rolled 2d6.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's always 2d6.
I thought it was 2d10.
Do I add
Or-
anything to it? That's hot?
No, it's 2d6.
Yep. Both hot.
Okay. So my hot is 1, but do I get to add 1 to any stat I want?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so I would have added it to hot.
Okay.
All right, 13.
Oh, we forgot to do something. Okay, yeah. Well, you're fine. Okay, so good. So they kind of like both like sort of glance at you like shyly and then giggle and sort of like run down the hallway back to the common room.
Okay.
How many strings does he get on these chicks? Or we?
Yeah, you
or we
get a string on each of them.
Oof. You the man, Drake.
String, hotties.
No. 2 strings, 2 hotties. That's a little different.
Okay. So I forgot to do something here. At the start of the session, we are supposed to each choose a stat for each other. So I guess it's supposed to be the person you have the most strings on. That might be wrong. But I think it is.
No, I think you ask everyone, whoever has the most strings on you, and the GM each pick 1 stat.
Yep.
Oh, it's whoever's most strings on you. Okay, so let's do that now. I forgot it, so we'll just do it now. So Piotr, who has the most strings on you? Oh, who has the most strings on Piotr?
Yeah, it's the other way around.
I have one.
Drake has one.
Everyone has one.
Everybody has 1. They're all tied.
Oh, right. Well, let's do you last then.
Let's do me last. Yeah.
All right. So Drake, who is the most strings on Drake?
I have none.
Nothing.
I don't think I gave any out, so
Yeah,
pass.
All right, Alice. Who has the most strings on Alice?
Drake.
All right,
one.
Drake, you choose a stat for Alice.
All right. Alice seems a little shy and sheltered. I want to see how hot she can get this session.
Okay, very good.
I
Very
don't know.
good.
My coat's pretty warm, so probably pretty
That's
hot.
pretty cozy.
All right, I'm going to choose dark for Alice.
And dark. Okay, yeah.
Vanessa. Who's got the most strings on Vanessa?
I have 2 on Vanessa.
Okay.
That's
So-
Alright.
probably the most.
So
I have 2 on
I'm.
Vanessa also, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I want you to do it because I
Okay,
like you.
sure. I mean, I was gonna say Vanessa's been kind of like keeping to herself and not being very, like. So I'm gonna go for let's see how active she can get. I'll choose volatile.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to choose cold for Vanessa. So, by the way, is anybody wondering, each player is going to get experience when they roll a stat that is circled. So we're going through encircling stats. All right, so Piotr chose for Vanessa, Drake chose for Alice. So Alice, what
The
did
other
you
way
choose
around.
for?
Alice
either
chose
way.
first.
Either way, him and Michael didn't get to pick. So,
No,
Michael, what's that?
I thought Vanessa and Andrew didn't.
I did.
Okay.
So, Michael, why don't you choose for Alex or for Piotr?
Piotr. Well, I think Piotr needs to kind of get in touch with some of his internal monologue side. So I think I'm going to pick dark for him.
Okay. All right, I'm going to pick volatile.
Yeah, he's a very outward person, and I think he needs to work on his
Kevin.
insides.
All right, and Vanessa, why don't you pick for Drake?
All right. Well, why don't we go with I'll go with hot. Screw it. Let's
All
see
right,
how hot it can
and-
get.
I will go with volatile.
Okay.
All right, so the girls,
I
kind
get
of
one-
You
giggle
get
to
a
each
point for
other,
that one.
One
and
experience.
they run out down the hallway holding hands back to the common room.
Okay. All right, yeah, so Drake will kind of shoot a wink at Piotr and walk back to his room stretching and just kind of drop a little fart in the hallway as he goes.
It's extra
Is
pungent.
it a mouth fart, a butt fart, or both?
It's a little of both with
Okay.
a dash of something else.
Okay.
Okay. So you notice that like this early in the morning, the lights are not working very well. They sort of like flicker overhead. They sort of highlight the age of this dorm. It's very old. You think it was probably old when it was abandoned, and it's certainly seen better days. It's been repainted, and you can smell the new paint on the walls, but it very obviously covers old peeling paint. And in some places, yes, this is not the only floor. There's another floor above it, but it is it is empty.
Okay. Okay, but this is the first floor then. Okay.
This is the first floor. Yep. So Vanessa, you wake up and you walk out to the common room to see several people sitting around eating. Excuse me, I have this backwards. Alice, you walk
Yes.
out to the common room to see several people eating. You see at a table, Vanessa is sitting there, and there's two girls with pigtails, dressed the same, and they're sitting on either side of Vanessa, and just kind of like bothering her, just like like
They're like
egging her on.
talking. They're talking to each other across Vanessa.
Yeah, they are. Yep, like they can't even
Like what?
like they can't even see her.
Right. Are the tables like kind of round tables for like a few people? Or are they like long tables for like a lot?
No, it's the 70s. There's no square tables.
Only square people.
What I meant is like, is it a bunch of like long tables put together? But let's say it's round tables, right?
Yeah, it's round tables. Several round tables.
Are like a lot of the tables filled? Is like why is like is Vanessa sitting with them for like because of space?
Well, so you can only assume that Vanessa sat down and then they sat down around her. They seem to be like have a mean-spirited thing going on. This doesn't seem friendly.
Yeah.
Vanessa's kind of like has her. Well, tell me, Vanessa, how are you reacting to this?
She's like getting just more and more frustrated. She had like a book that she was studying, and they like sat down with their like food, and like Vanessa keeps like trying to like kind of guard her like stuff from like their like breakfast splattering on it, and it's getting like harder and harder. She's trying to like and trying to hint at how like frustrated she is without really like saying anything. But it's like quite obvious that she's uncomfortable. But the twins, I guess, don't seem to care that much.
Right. So one of them grabs the book and she picks it up and starts reading. And she says, "The tooth of the dragon is the rarest of the alchemical components. Worth is exceedingly."
Just leave me alone! She like grabs the book and she like gives Paula this like death stare, and she like gets up and she like turns around and she like kind of half trips over her chair, and almost like stumbles into the wall, and she just like kicks it and like marches off towards her room.
All right.
What
are you doing?
So as she's marching off towards her room, I kind of like get in her like she's having such a defiant like storming off moment, and I just subtly but like purposely kind of get in her way so that she has to go around me, interrupting like her strong march to get out of the room.
She like
I just become like an obstruction, like just on purpose for you, but not like defiantly.
All right, like Vanessa like notices you like last minute and like kind of dodges around you, and you just hear her mutter like, "What is wrong with everybody today?"
Okay.
So Piotr walks in, opens the door because the comm room's like right there. He like opens the door to the comm room, and he just goes like, he like does like a sniff and like looks around and like looks at like the way the twins are positioned, and then like, looks to the left where he sees like Vanessa like storming off, and he like comes over to like where the twins are sitting, and he sits right in where Vanessa was sitting, and like takes one of the like twins' glasses and just like chugs it down.
So
Okay. All right. Why don't you roll shut someone down? As I think that's what you're doing.
Yeah. And that's
That is
volatile.
Cool.
Fuck, I don't have that. I don't know that. Let's see if it works. Let's give it a whirl. Okay, I just hit this button. Did it work? No. Submit. Submit. Got lucky. I have -1, so
11.
it's a 10.
Okay, that's still fine. 10 up. You choose one. Give them a condition, or they lose a string on you. If they had held no strings, you gain a string on them.
All right. So the condition for so whichever is the one that had the book, I
So I think unless I specify otherwise, strings on the twins are going to be strings on both of them. I think
Okay.
a string on one or the other is going to be like especially valuable.
okay.
And
So
going to have to be one in a specific condition, right? Like you're going to have to either get them alone or get an angle on one of them. Otherwise, they're basically a unit.
all right. So the condition that I want to try to link is sort of along the lines of so this is something that they have to do now, right?
No, a condition is just a thing that goes on them, and then we like figure out exactly sort of what it means.
Okay, so I want them to be like sort of intimidated and like remember this and like I don't know, try to associate it with Vanessa if possible.
No. So when you give someone a condition, you sort of say what it is, right? So it might be like humiliated, or I mean that might make sense in this context, or intimidated maybe if they're intimidated.
I'll go
right?
with intimidated.
Okay, yeah. All right. So they go quiet, and they stop giggling, and they try to sit there for a moment, sort of like to try to like play it off, and you just kind of like you just keep drinking their drink, and then they after a moment, like one of them gets up to leave, and the other one goes with it.
right in that like quiet moment, those like 5 seconds, you like hear like a distant slam of a door down the girls' hallway.
And
Yep.
when the twins leave, I've been kind of hanging by the entrance. I kind of give it like a beat, and then I start following. I kind of just trail them, but just behind them a bit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um, so you see that so they're going to go back to their room and find that it's locked, and then I guess begin complaining, and maybe they'll leave. I'm not sure yet. So what are you doing, Drake?
So Drake is now wandered into the common room, grabbed a muffin, I guess, and is sitting on a couch, sort of like slumped down with his feet up on the coffee table. He's like sort of kicked aside a stack of magazines that are off on the coffee table, and is just munching on a muffin. Sort of crumbs are dribbling everywhere.
Sure.
And he's just sort of sitting confidently with his arms stretched out around the couch, just glancing at everyone coming to the common room.
Okay.
If there's any, if there's any like food left that the twins left over, like Piotr will just like eat it.
Yeah,
Just
so you see Piotr just like wolfing down a bowl
Ha
of it
ha
now.
ha ha! You're the worst.
After a moment, you see a girl walk in. She's a little bit larger. She's got like a sundress on with sunflowers, which is a little bit out of season. It's like early fall. It's like mid-September, right? So, and she comes in. She's got her hair in a ponytail. Her name is Gloria, and she sort of wanders over to you, Drake, and she's like, "How's it going, Drake?"
Hey, Glow. How you doing? Hey, Pete. I'll kind of whistle to Pete. My lips are dry, so I couldn't do it properly. I'll kind of hold my hand up and say, "Cup."
Hey.
Like empty glass. I'll
Oh.
kind of point the glasses over in front of you.
Piotr just like flicks one towards him.
Okay. So I catch it, put it on the coffee table, pull a pack of cigarettes out, light one, and sort of move over and tap my hand on the couch next to me for Gloria to sit down.
All right, she kind of like sits down, like she puts her legs up on a chair, and she's like, "So first day of classes today. What are you taking?"
I don't know. I know I have philosophy at 10, and then I got to come back here and check. I'm not sure. I think I got biology or earth science, something like that. I got a science, and then I think some humanities later. What's it fucking called? Soch.
Oh yeah. I think I have that one too.
Oh yeah, with Professor Milton.
Yeah. Are
Right
you
on.
signed up for this class later on? This horror cinematography?
Oh, that was my one elective. Yeah. I did. I let myself have one fun class that I'm not going to sleep through.
She's like, "All right, great. I'm looking forward to that." So you wanna go into town later and get some food?
I don't know. Will you buy me a six-pack?
Yeah.
Come on, the owner loves you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Pete, you want to go into town?
Pete looks at his hands, and he looks at the empty bowls, and he's like, he's like, yeah.
All right. You
All
want
right,
to
cool.
see if... oh, never mind. I don't know that. Never mind.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's skip ahead a little bit in time. I think. Let's say it's mid-afternoon. Alice, what class are you just getting it out of?
So the only class I had in the morning, and the only class I would ever get up for in the morning, is the figure drawing class that I took. I get to just sit there and watch somebody and do whatever I want for a while.
Okay. So you're in figure drawing class. The teacher's sort of going on and on about the basics of drawing and how you guys are gonna have to practice like all semester if you want to be able to pass the class, because she's quite hard on grading. And she also says, and then of course, as I'm sure you're all excited to hear, We will begin drawing nude figures next week.
Okay.
Yes, and Drake.
We're
Can I do a
volunteering.
new figure?
We'll see.
All right.
Vanessa, are you in this class?
What class was this? This was.
It's figure drawing. Yeah.
No, I don't think Vanessa's in this class.
Okay.
Actually, no.
So,
Sure. Yeah, Vanessa's here, but like, when she first came in, like she sat like right behind you, Alice, and she could have sworn it was the wrong thing, and then she like left to like go check something, and she came back, and then she was muttering something about like the registrar, and like there's stupid people who do like the registration stuff.
Right. Like you thought you were taking some kind of like easy pass art class, and you're like with this like hard ass art teacher who's like gonna like really criticize every single line that you draw.
Well, and
Right.
it seems like Vanessa's not even really that like into this. Like it seems like she got like somebody screwed up and now she's here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So as you walk back in, the teacher, who's this sort of like short old lady, she's got big glasses on, her face is all wrinkled up. She must be, she couldn't possibly be south of 85 years old. She's wearing just like a hideous dress. Her hair is done up in this like big, elaborate, do. And as you walk back in, Vanessa, she's like, "Can I help you?"
Vanessa just goes like, I guess I'm in this class. She like goes and tries to find like the seat like furthest towards the like back of the class that's still open.
All right. She says, "Hold on just a minute. This class started 4 minutes ago, dearie."
She like turns around and is like, yeah, I had to go and see the registrar. I thought I had signed up for another course, but like I think they screwed up, and
She cuts you off. She's like, "Well, if you didn't need the first 4 minutes of class, I assume you're already an expert. Why don't you come up here and draw a figure for the class?"
she's like, she like walks up to the front and she like grabs a chalk thing and she draws this like tiny little like stick figure on the board and like stands next to it.
The teacher like puts her hands on her hips and she like peers down at it and she adjusts her glasses and she's like, "I can hardly see that. Draw it bigger."
Vanessa like lets out a huge sigh and she draws like another stick figure like twice the size. It's still like pretty small on the giant chalkboard.
Actually, go on. Yeah.
Okay.
Vanessa goes, she's like, how about that? Now, can you just leave me alone?
All right. She says, "Well, it seems like you probably could have used the first 4 minutes. Even for a beginner, this is horrible. Now, take a seat and be quiet."
Vanessa like grabs her book bag and again like tries to find like the seat like all the way in the back of the class or whatever is open that's like on the last row.
Kill her.
Okay. So Alice, you can see there's a girl sitting next to you. She's a slight girl. Let me make sure. Your roommate Janet is sitting next to you.
Oh, okay.
And you can see as the scene unfolds, Janet is sitting there, like her knuckles turning white as she grips the side of her desk, and not an angry look in her eyes, but a very excited look. She's like she looks like she's on the edge of her seat.
Excited at Vanessa's failure at the board, or
Yeah, like ridiculously so.
okay. So, and this is happening like as like, is she still excited as Vanessa's kind of going back to her seat, or?
Yeah, and she looks pretty pleased about it. In fact, she looks like she's watching like a really good movie, and she's like really into it.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like mutter under my breath, but loud enough for her to hear. Like, what? Like, what's got you so worked up?
So it doesn't even seem like she really hears you. She's like staring so intently at this.
Does she seem like prepared for this class? Like, is she like? Is this
Yeah,
like
she's got
is
like
this-
she's got like pencils and stuff and like a notepad, like a drawing pad.
right? Okay. I'm just gonna kind of watch her and see what she does.
Okay, so Vanessa, as you sort of walk between them to go to the back of the class, you feel like a sharp stab in your leg. You look down and you can see that this girl Janet is like holding like a pencil. It hasn't like drawn blood or anything, but she basically just like poked you really hard in the leg as you walked past.
All right. I guess since you're right there, Alice, you like hear like a little squeal from Vanessa, and she like looks down and she like she turns to this girl. She's like, "What's wrong with you?"
All right, she just like stares into your eyes, like with a grin across her face.
I'm gonna like get up and get. I'm gonna go to like the shelf of books of the reference books in the corner, and then when I come back, I'm actually gonna sit in the back closer to like where Alice takes her. Where Vanessa takes her seat in the back.
Okay.
Uh,
All right,
um,
do it.
And I think like I'm probably gonna wait like a few minutes, like like after all of this settles down, and I'm gonna go. What was up with Janet? Like just loud enough for Vanessa to hear.
Like Vanessa kind of like looks over, kind of surprised. Like there's like a look of surprise in her face that like, I guess you're talking to her.
But I'm not even like looking at you. I'm kind of like drawing and looking down. But I definitely said it.
And she goes like, "What?" Like she wasn't expecting to be asked a question.
Right.
Yeah, you hardly even noticed that Alice was here until she spoke up.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to say, just do lots of people stab you in the leg whenever you walk past them?
Vanessa like seems to like mutter to herself like, "Yeah, I feel the world has it out for me today more than or like, well, I feel like the world has it out for me every day, but this day in particular." And she kind of goes back to like looking at her own papers, which seem to have you can kind of glean that like the book she has on her her desk has like nothing to do with like art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Vanessa, as you now take in Alice, you notice that the clothes that she's wearing are pretty out of fashion. They definitely don't fit the times.
So she turns back. She's like, where did you get that dress?
Oh, this. It was my mother's.
I love it.
So Alice is kind of taken aback. She's used to being kind of dismissed, and she's like, "Oh, really?"
Vanessa goes like, it's so dark. There's almost, I don't know. It's just something about it.
There's like a moment where Alice almost kind of gets excited about the things Vanessa's saying, but then she goes, "Yeah, it's just like some stupid hand-me-down from my mother." And then she like pulls her jacket like around herself tighter and kind of goes back to drawing. Like she got almost embarrassed by the attention.
Okay.
Vanessa like I guess takes the hint pretty quickly and kind of like turns back to her own reading as well.
Yeah, I think you should probably roll to shut someone down there, Michael.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's.
I was wondering about that. I wasn't sure, but I think it's probably appropriate.
No, I think you're right too. So that's gonna be. So.
So 2d6.
Yeah, no, I already rolled it. I guess we can each give a condition to each other. I think that'll be more appropriate to the situation.
Yeah, so why don't you each give each other a condition?
I don't know what the conditions are.
The condition can be anything. You can make up a word that is a condition.
Okay. I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna give Vanessa the ignored condition.
Okay, and Vanessa?
So I feel ignored, I guess, or I am
Yeah.
ignored. All right. I will make Alice embarrassed.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That's good.
All right, great. All right, so Drake and Piotr.
Yeah.
It's getting dark. It's autumn. The air is crisp. And Gloria sort of like pulls around in this pickup truck as you guys are sort of standing outside the dorm. You can see it's not too cloudy, but there's a few clouds in the air, and you can see that it'll be dusk soon, and you guys know you have a class at dusk out on the field.
Okay.
And Gloria sort of like pulls up, gives you this kind of like toothy grin, and shouts, "Get on in, you idiots!"
Okay. Yeah, so I'll hop in the back in the flatbed of the pickup truck. I'll sort of sit on an old toolbox that has like a canvas mat resting on top of it, and just lean against the cabin and the flatbed, and just kind of so that way I can kind of see who we pass and wave at people, and everyone knows I'm getting a luxury ride into town. You know.
Okay.
Piotr stands there and he looks at his watch and he like looks back at Drake.
Wow, what's wrong?
He like looks back to the field and he's like, "The horror class."
I thought we were going to town. Gloria, are you in this class? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
So you can, as you turn to her, she's not even looking at you. Out of the dorm, you can see the guy who you had seen before in the bathroom, Piotr. He sort of comes out and are you both trying to get in the? He sort of opens the passenger side of the pickup truck and gets in, and Gloria says, "Oh, hey, Thomas." And he's like, "Hey, what's up? You guys ready to do this?"
Piotr says, "Nice hair, Thomas."
All right.
Yeah, looking good. Hey, I didn't know we were interrupting a date or nothing. So, hey, we got class. I can take a hint. And I sort of roll out the back of the pickup truck and sort of tap it on the side and say, "You two lovebirds have fun, though, yeah?"
All right. So, are you trying to manipulate somebody here?
Yeah, I'm going to try and set Gloria up. I'm going to try and, I'm going to try and prop her up. I guess turn Thomas on.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I mean, you could
To
try to
Gloria.
turn Thomas. So I think you probably want to do. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that fits manipulate. So Gloria's she's going to look. Her face is going to turn red, and she's going to be like, "This is not a date. A date, Drake. Whatever. You go to your class. We'll be fine."
So I'll do like a exaggerated gentlemanly bow and say, "Whatever you say, madame. Your chariot awaits," and walk away to my class.
All right. She's like, "Fuck you," and then she like slams in the accelerator as you're like getting off the back of the truck.
I'll flip her off as she leaves and chuckle and light a cigarette as we walk towards the lawn.
All right, as Drake, as you're walking away, you see that Piotr didn't move from like the spot where he was standing. He's just like looking back at the dormitory at like the corner of some like window on the what do you call it? He's just like staring at like the edge room of a building.
Okay.
The dormitory.
Drake's not terribly observant about stuff like that, so he'll kind of
Okay.
whistle and be like, "What's going on, bud?"
Piotr just kind of like turns back and says, "Nothing. Let's get to class." And he like keeps walking with Drake.
All right.
Okay.
Want a cigarette?
He just shakes his hand.
What's the smell bother you or something?
No, just don't smoke.
All right.
Right. Okay. So so you guys head down the. There's a path that goes through a wooded area, and you can see there's a bunch of other students heading to this class. This class is in a field that used to be a drive-in movie theater, but has been abandoned. So you've never had it before, but as you're walking, you can see a few other students. There's a tall African American student. Sorry. He's sort of walking alone off to the side. You can see Alice and Vanessa, as well as what's his name, Dino.
What time is this? Or
So this is dusk.
and this is like it used to be a drive-in.
Yep.
Drive-in
So right. So there used to be
on
driving.
campus or off campus.
It's just off campus.
Okay.
It's
And
like
Gloria was specifically not going to this class, right? Even though she said she was in the class with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's ditching. Cool.
So Piotr and Drake, you guys are like walking together. You're hanging
Yeah.
out?
I'm keeping an eye out for those two girls we saw earlier. If we see them, I'd like to sit near them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They are coming. And you can see that they're walking like just behind Vanessa,
Cool.
like uncomfortably so.
Okay, I'll kind of elbow Peter and say, "Hey, 4 of them."
Yeah, Piotr turns around and like looks in that direction, but like just very like I don't know if Drake was doing like the whole like sideways look. Piotr just kind of like stares straight at the group like walking in.
All right, so I would definitely notice if he was checking out one in particular, because that's sort of my thing. So, black hair in the front. You like her?
There's like no answer from Piotr.
Yeah. So Vanessa, you can see there's 2 boys ahead on the path. It's sort of hard to see in here. It's dark. It's like twilight, and you're in this like wooded area. There's trees overhanging, and you can see that there's 2 boys like staring directly at you, and also the twins are like sort of walking behind you, like uncomfortably close. Like every time you stop, they just like stop behind you, and then when you start walking, they start walking again behind you. Not like talking to you or anything, just.
All right. I guess Vanessa like she like tries to like speed up to like shake the twins. She kind of I guess she sees Piotr and Drake up ahead, and seems to kind of she kind of like flicks her hair over. She's got this like long black hair, and she like kind of flicks it over to like cover her face, and she like puts her head down a little bit.
So I think at this point, Alice kind of glides in towards Vanessa.
Yeah, so Drake, you see this girl that you've seen like newspaper clippings of before. You recognize her.
Yeah, we're from the same hometown.
Yeah.
I heard all about the story. She's from my high school, actually. Or no, she's from younger. Go ahead.
She's wearing exactly the same clothes that you've seen her pictures of her in the newspaper. She's got exactly the same expression on. You are 100% sure that this is a girl. And she just sort of like walks over to you.
Okay. So I will. I'll kind of have my mouth a little slack-jawed, and the cigarette will be sort of hanging a little too loose, and then fall out, and I'll try and catch it and kind of burn myself as on the ember as I catch it and put it back in my mouth. Hey, Alice?
I go, yeah, Drake. What's going on? I'm kind of surprised that he's noticing me. I have both of my hands kind of cupped like this. I'm holding something in them, kind of close to me. So I don't really know what to do with my hands right now.
I'll kind of glance around. How many people are like directly around us? I know Peter was right with me.
I mean, I was making my way towards Vanessa, but you kind of caught me on the way over.
Yeah, so you've all sort of like glommed into a group. The twins being in the presence of other people have sort of stopped being so completely obnoxious to Vanessa, and now we're just kind of like walking a few feet behind.
Gotcha. Okay. So, hey, where are you from, by the way? You look just like a girl from my hometown.
I'm from a few towns over in Carson.
Parson?
Yeah. The only reason I'm even at this stupid school is because my parents both took jobs here, pretty much dooming our whole financial futures at this stupid school.
Is Parson a lie or the truth, Michael?
What? It's the truth.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't have a younger brother, did you?
No. I'm an only child.
Oh. Okay. All right.
I mean, did Drake? Did we state your hometown? I wasn't trying to contradict you on purpose.
No, not at all. You're
Okay,
doing good.
okay.
So, I'm gonna try and gaze into the abyss. Am I allowed to do that?
Okay, so when you want to do this, you kind of have to you have to tell me. You have to be a little more descriptive about it.
I'm sorry. You're right. Okay, so I sort of know something is up intrinsically. Like I accept her story that she doesn't have a younger brother, but I think there's something else there. I deal with despair and sorrow as a songwriter. So I'm gonna try and look into her eyes and if I see any sort of lingering sadness in there, because I think I know what happened to her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll let you gaze into the abyss on that.
Okay.
Look deeply into her eyes.
Can I click on?
Well, let's do this first.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes.
So I think I was being honest with you in that I didn't have a younger brother, but I'll leave it up to you. But if you want it so that if you were thinking of this, I'm not sure if my parents had a kid after I died, I might be a little confused. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe there is another kid in my family, and I'm just a little confused as to there wasn't one when I was alive.
Okay. Is your family wealthy?
We don't. I would rather we sort of move the game along and not discuss these things so much. If you want his family to be wealthy, then and it's relevant, then like you can add that to the story. And Mike will just roll with it. That's sort of the way.
Yeah, I'll just go with whatever. Yeah.
So that's a 3. Not very good.
Seems like Drake does not gaze very far.
Okay. So Drake and Alice, you guys are sort of talking, and as soon as Drake notices Alice, he kind of like stops and turns towards her. Alice, you stop and turn towards him. Everybody else keeps walking, not sure, and Drake begins to like look into your eyes, like sort of confused and sort of interested.
Can I offer myself a condition actually on that?
I don't think you get offered anything. That was a failure.
Yeah, this is a failure. I get to do stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you in Apocalypse, you just when you fail, like the MC just gets to do shit.
The GM gets to do his thing. So you sort of like stare deeply into her eyes, and you're like almost getting lost. Alice, you can see this boy staring at your eyes, and you know that he recognizes you. You can tell. All of a sudden, you guys are snapped out of this reverie by a howl that comes out of the distance, like a wolf howl, and you can see it's fully dark now, and the moon is shining bright overhead.
This is bad news.
Sorry, the moon is beginning to rise. It's not quite overhead yet. Every once in a while, it's like clouds passing in front of it.
Are we in the drive-in?
No, you guys are just at the entrance to the field. You can see everybody else is gathered at the other end of the field where there's a big screen, and there's the professor has set up a projector out there.
I guess his gaze catches me off guard, and at first my eyes are uncomfortably locked to his as he's kind of like looking deeper into me than I'd be comfortable with. But at that first sign of the wolf howl, I use it as an opportunity to break it.
Okay.
And I take a few steps away towards the twins.
Okay. You can see if you glance over your shoulder nervously. Like I don't really. I keep looking at the back of your head as you walk away. I'm like, kind of interested.
So now that he's looking at you carefully, Alice, does he see anything remarkable about your physical appearance?
On first glance, no, but I guess if he's really looking at me in the way that he's kind of looking at me, he might get the sense that the coat that I'm wearing is kind of, its weight is not really resting properly on anything.
Okay.
Like it's almost like it's like it's like my physical body is not supporting the weight of the coat, and maybe that's not even a realistic thing, but it's the sense he gets that like almost I'm not there to support even the weight of my clothes.
Okay.
Kitty.
So you guys finish heading out to the field. You can see the professor is waiting there. The classes are beginning to take seats like in the grass. They're splitting up in little groups. Are you guys sitting with each other? Describe the groups that you're sitting with. If it can be with each other, it can be with whoever.
I would gravitate towards Peter and probably within like eye shot of Alice and Vanessa, most likely.
Okay.
Piotr would just like, if there's any space whatsoever, he would just like either be like a plus sign if Vanessa's in the middle. He would say like behind her, in front of her, left or right, wherever there's like a spot.
Okay.
I was hoping to scare the twins off.
Okay. Yeah.
So the reason I was walking towards Vanessa was to do exactly that.
Okay.
But I want to know what Vanessa and the twins are kind of doing as far as like settling down to figure out if there was even room for that.
Yeah, I mean, so they're nearby. They seem to have grown bored for the moment with tormenting Vanessa, but they're not so far that you couldn't interact with them.
All right. Well, so just so you know what Vanessa's doing, she's kind of trying to like step off and up to the side, waiting anxiously for the twins to kind of I guess do just that, get bored or get distracted, and once they find a seat, Vanessa kind of like finds a seat right behind them, and is perhaps not so subtly trying to get something out of like Paula's bag.
So you're sitting behind the twins?
Yeah.
Okay, so I go up like right in front of the twins, and I go, "Oh, aren't you guys veterinary students? I was wondering if you knew anything about maybe helping this bird." And I open my hands, and I'm holding like an obviously like dead, rotting bird, like with like maggots crawling all over it, and I like put it like right under their noses.
Okay. So why don't you roll to shut someone down?
Okay. So it was a 4.
A 4. Okay. So you're going to open your hands and sort of like expose this bird to them. Unfortunately, they're talking and they don't even seem to notice you. They don't even hear the thing you say. Um, but who does notice is the teacher. He sort of strides over to you and he's like, "What are you doing?" So he's a tall young man. He's got nicely parted hair. He's wearing a blue button-down shirt with khakis. He's got he's handsome. And as he bears down on you, feel like you feel the weight of his judgment. He says, "Is that a dead bird?"
Like, so I'm already the fact that I was even going up to these people and talking to them was like kind of a momentous thing for me. And now that I'm being noticed by him, it's like my entire body freezes and my breath catches in my throat, and I don't even know how to react. And I kind of look, I like lock eyes with him, and I'm like, I don't even. What are you talking about? Dead bird, but it's still in my hands. Like it's still
right.
Yeah.
He kind of like shakes his head, and he like just turns around and like walks back over to the projector, like with like a confused, like disgusted look on his face, grumbling something about today's humor.
So
Okay.
in the anyways, in the meantime, Vanessa is going to try to grab like Paula's notebook out of her bag while this is happening.
Okay, yeah. I think you get it.
She
and you can see Alice just sort of standing there like stuttering. Now, unfortunately, Alice, the twins do notice you.
Okay.
And they stand up and they're like, "What do you want? What's that smell?"
So Alice kind of like her whole body is just like completely rigid, and she doesn't even. She's like completely mortified that this teacher like even noticed her and like in such an embarrassing situation. And now the twins are like snap her back to the real world for a second.
Right.
And she goes, "Smell? What? Nothing at all." And she just kind of like clenches her fist, and like the bird like rips apart as she does.
Yeah. Like black slime like gushes out of your hand.
And she kind of rushes past them and but like she like shoves the one of them aside, touching her with her gross bird gut hand.
Right. So the twins like sort of jump up and jump behind the nearest person they can find, which happens to be Piotr, who's standing behind them, near Vanessa. Piotr, as they jump behind you, they sort of like cling to your body in a way that is new for you.
So Piotr like goes stiff. Piotr just kind of like freezes in place, and then he looks at Drake, and he like kind of like raises his like eyebrows, like.
All right. Well, so Vanessa having gotten a notebook and knowing what she can do with it has gained a newfound sense of courage, and she stands up. And she screams at these two girls like, just leave her alone, you two sluts. And she Vanessa kind of like looks at Piotr and says like, you know these two girls?
I look at like one on one arm, and I look at the one on the other.
Oh, so as you do, one of them gives you a firm squeeze in the butt.
You can like see, you can see like the grimace on Vanessa's face as she kind of like sees the hand like behind your backside.
I look at Vanessa and I say, Piotr. That's my name.
Vanessa's like, oh, my God, I can't even.
There's like all
So-
these people. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, everyone is like standing up, like staring at this scene.
Yeah, like
Right.
everyone's standing up, and like Alice is like now like has no real escape route, but she's kind of bouncing around, trying to bounce around like to get out of here and like hiding her head.
Yeah, why don't you roll run away?
Yeah, exactly. That's really good.
All right.
It's just not working out for Alice at
No,
all.
it's not going well.
This is how Alice rolled.
Okay, so Alice,
Rip Alice.
you look around and all of a sudden you see the escape route. It's directly in front of you. There's a path, like people have shifted in such a way that there is a path directly back out to the woods, and you move to get there. As you're walking, you see back at the edge of the woods, just in like the last lights of twilight, several figures move at the edge of the forest, just barely. You can see them move from tree to tree for just a moment. They
Say
seem to
it
be-
one more time. Sorry. Say it.
at least two figures
Yeah.
between two of the trees. You can see that they are cloaked and hooded, but other than that, it's just silhouettes. Just as you are about to catch this, opening, the teacher like steps back in front of you, like puts his hands on his hips, and he says, "Young lady, I think you've done quite enough. Why don't you sit down and be quiet for the rest of class?"
I think as soon as he like even, you said he puts his hand on my shoulder.
No, yeah. He puts his hand on your shoulder,
Yeah.
and he says, "Yeah, don't just take a seat, and we'll begin class shortly."
Yeah, like as soon as he touches me, I just kind of like immediately pause, then drop down, and then just kind of like tense up and freeze, and I'm just looking straight ahead at the class. I'm like, sure, yeah, got it, class.
Okay, so Vanessa and Piotr, what do you?
All right. So, what does Vanessa do after she
All right,
says that?
so like, Vanessa so Piotr says like my name's Piotr or something like that, right? And Vanessa like shakes her head and she's like, I thought you might be cool, but I guess I see how it is, Piotr.
So Drake will kind of like see there's a lot of tension, especially between like the three girls. So he'll kind of step in and say, "Hey, guys, we don't need to fight. We could all just split up. How about this, ladies?" And I'll point to the two twins. How about we sit together? We could have a cigarette, watch the movie, enjoy ourselves, and then Peter and Vanessa, they can go sit off by themselves and do whatever they want. I have a string on both of these girls, so I'm going to spend it to influence the role.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to spend my string on them. I had one string on the two of them.
That's right. Yeah, you did.
Okay, so I'll spend that one string on them to influence this role to manipulate them.
Okay. Are you manipulating them or turning them on?
I'm trying to, I guess it would be turning them on. I want to try and get them attracted to me so Peter and Vanessa are kind of like off on their own.
Wait, so you're addressing Alice too in this?
No, it's just the two, Vanessa's two roommates, the twins.
Oh, okay.
Like they're trying to use Peter to get between, Vanessa and
No,
him. So I'm,
yeah, exactly.
You can do manipulate. That's fine.
Okay, so this be a hot roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be 2d6 plus 3, right? I'm too hot plus 1 because I'm spending my string.
Yep. But you get a 7.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
No, it's not even a 7.
Oh, it's just a 5.
It's just a 5. Yeah.
Snake
Wow.
Eyes. Not as hot as he thinks.
There we go.
All right. So one of them looks at the other. One of them is like staring directly at you, and the other one like whispers in her ear, and she's like, "You're right. You put on a good show, Drake, but I can tell a queer when I see one." And they like march off to the other side of the class and like sit down. So you're going to take the condition. Let's call it queer.
Gay boy?
Yeah.
Condition queer.
What is this class again? I wrote it
Drama
down.
101
You
apparently.
stop it, Michael.
So the projector comes on.
This is from
Do
the
we
twins.
not know, actually?
Yes, the class is.
My skin
Forrest
is queen.
What's that?
Skin is queen.
No, I said what is the class
class?
that we're all at?
Oh,
Not-
I'm sorry. I thought you said skin.
No.
So, as the moon rises over the board, you can see the projector illuminate another a set of film. It's all black and white, and it flips between a few different images. One is a moon rising up, and a wolf howling in the background. Another is a picture of the classic film Nosferatu, the vampire. And another is a picture of the classic Frankenstein movie, and the teacher says, "Welcome to the history of horror in cinematography." And with that, we will end our first session.
Nice.
So, do we have any end of session moves? I don't think there's usually anything for Monster.
So can I mark down Paula's notebook as a sympathetic token? Is that fine?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right, cool. So I think that's it. So remember, if you rolled one of your marked stats, you get to mark experience for the session. Only once per session per stat. If you rolled both stats, you get to mark 2 experience. Other than that, I think we're basically done. You guys have anything else that are out there?
Good start. So hot.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks guys for playing. This has been Live from Beyond. If you're watching us on YouTube, come check out our Twitch channel. We stream every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. If you're watching this live on Twitch, go check out our YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this session, tell your friends about it if you think they'd like it too. That's the way we get new people. So,
Kevin,
yeah.
what should they do if they didn't enjoy this session?
Oh, then you should do nothing.
No, the next one's gonna be
Reevaluate.
way better. The next one's gonna be like way
Change
better.
your opinion
You should-
immediately.
You should tell your friends, hey, check this thing out.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
didn't
change
like
the
it.
height of
maybe
your
I'm
chair.
just, maybe I'm a big idiot.
Maybe I'm.
Can you check it out too, and then tell me if I'm a big idiot, and then you turn out to be an idiot.
Yeah, that's what you should do. That's exactly right. Michael's got it.
So even if you didn't like it, tell your friends.
Tell them that you didn't like it, but you were wrong,
Yeah,
and that they should watch it too.
yeah, and then they get a string on you for that. By the way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for playing, and everybody have a good night.